Hello creative friends, welcome to this video. I am going to tell you all of my secrets today. Hope you like that. In this video, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to talk at you and tell you all of I have a list, the printers, papers, and packaging that I use for my art business, which is mainly greeting cards and art prints, but also some stickers. I'm going to tell you where I got it from, and if it's not something that you can access, I will provide a link to something I think is very similar. This is a very informative video. Like I said, I'm just gonna sit here and talk at you. I will put pictures on the screen. All my printers are behind me. You can admire them, but I'll tell you in detail just here. If you are eager to get onto a section, I will try and time code the section so you know what you're looking for. And everything I talk about, I will link in the video description for you. With that being said, I do have a small preamble, so you can skip it if you don't know who I am or don't care. But for those of you who do know me, hello! I haven't made a video in a little while. I kind of took the spring off, not because I wanted to, but more because I was feeling at a bit of a crossroads with my YouTube channel and my art business. So my art business has been going really well. I had a new spring collection I launched. I got new wholesale opportunities. I did a couple of really big markets that were great. Things have been going really well. I'm feeling very excited. I'm doing just watercolor painting now. Yeah, things are going well. So yay me. In terms of the YouTube side of things, something that I did unintentionally, but I did it, was I've kind of created two streams of interest on this channel. On the one hand, I've done lots of DIY and tutorial videos, like showing you how to make notepads. My notepad video is still my biggest traffic driver, so I'm grateful for that. But on the one hand, I've built an audience that a lot of them are people who are less interested in me and what I do and more about the information I have, which I really appreciate those people. Maybe you're one of them. There's some overlap between the two groups as well. And then there's another group of people who like my art and are interested in what I'm doing and a more personal interest, like interested in me as an artist. So I've been kind of weighing like which audience am I really trying to cater to? Like I said, there's a bit of overlap, but I've been kind of struggling because I'll make a video like this one, which is like, here's the information I have, and it does pretty well. I don't know how this one will do, but anyways, I'm hoping it's helpful. But then I'll do another video like, let's do this painting and let's talk about art and do something more personal, and it doesn't do as well. So it's hard because you're like, as a business owner, you should do the thing that more people like. But as an artist, I want to do the thing that I enjoy more. So I was kind of waffling. I am going to go the direction of doing the thing I enjoy more because ultimately that's more sustainable for me. So this is going to actually be the last video where I sit down and just tell you like products or how I make things because I want to do other kind of content. So I have a pretty big archive though, if you go through my channel, of like, here's how I make stickers, here's how I make greeting cards, here's how I make notepads. So I think I've covered most of the bases because not everything's changed, just some of the materials I use have, which is why I made my little list. So I hope that makes sense. I hope you're cool with that. If for some reason you're watching my channel and you're like, cool, that means I'm not interested anymore, I understand. It's okay. No biggie. I am trying to be more intentional about what I do with my time. And I think it's going to be good. So we'll see how it goes. I don't know. I'm just telling you. Little aside to that, I'm just working on some new Skillshare classes that I also cross-post on my YouTube membership. So it's like, if you want more, like, I'm doing a lot of Canva tutorials. So I do some informational stuff, but that's all going to be like my worky work. Do you know what I mean? Like behind a paywall for Skillshare memberships or YouTube. That's just because it's boring, but I like making it. And I need a bigger incentive than just putting it on YouTube to make it. I think, I don't know. I'm still working on my ADHD diagnosis. So we're also trying to figure out how I can incentivize myself to do stuff that's hard. So that is my preamble. We're going to get into this and I'm going to tell you about all the stuff I use to make my products that I recommend. Everything I'm telling you is something I currently have in this room with me. There's nothing I'm recommending that I haven't tried and just think is good. So hopefully it's very authentic. Like I said, I have my products that I make using these materials in stores. I've gotten feedback that everyone thinks they look really professional, and that's great. Before I go much further, okay, so let's get started. I'm just going to show you a couple of my main things. Actually, I'll just show you my art print because I just happen to have one right behind me and I messed it up. Okay, I'm going to just show you, this is what my art prints look like. So this is the big one, or the biggest size I do. This is 11 inches by 14 inches. It is art print on very nice paper. There's a logo sticker here. I packaged my logo sticker on the front. It's in a plastic sleeve just for protection. On the back, this paper just slid sideways is normally the right way. That has the information about the print and also my studio information with links and stuff. And there's a piece of chipboard in the back to keep it rigid. So this is how I'm packaging my art prints. My prints come in different sizes, so this is just the biggest version. When it comes to greeting cards, I don't have any immediately in front of me, but they are in little plastic sleeves with an envelope and the card. And that's it. I got lots of pictures. I'll put up pictures of my products so you can see. Couple of notes. I try and buy from local businesses wherever I can. I live in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada. We have a lot of stuff, but not everything. So there's some stuff I have to order online. Some stuff I can't find a Canadian supplier, so I have to ship from the US, which is not great. Luckily, I bought a lot of stuff in advance of the tariffs, so I'm good for a while. So I will, if I got something locally, I'll mention that, but then I'll tell you where else you can get it if necessary. Previously, I made a video that was about my favorite greeting card paper ever, which was Kromekote paper. I still think it's a great paper, but I've moved on for a couple of reasons. Or, sorry, if you haven't seen it before, Kromekote is glossy on one side and matte on the other, making it, in my opinion, an ideal greeting card paper. It's also what Staples uses on their laser printed greeting cards. If you order them to print your cards for them, it's just very expensive to go through them. So Kromekote, I liked it. Reasons I stopped using it, number one is I couldn't find a supplier in Canada for a price that was good enough. So just getting it was too difficult. Originally, I was able to get it off of Amazon. Whatever supplier it was, I think after I made that video, there was like a rush on ordering of that and the price got jacked way up. So it is no longer reasonable to buy there at all. The second reason is that I've changed my printers. I know that video I made about using Kromekote in my Epson EcoTank, the far one over here, my ET2400. That caused some people some problems because they weren't able to reproduce the same quality on their printers with that paper. And I'm pretty sure I made a big disclaimer just saying like, this is what I use specifically. I can't tell you it's going to work in other combinations because the paper is ideal for offset or laser printing. And I was using it on an inkjet. For whatever reason, it worked really well on that one specific Epson EcoTank. It just did. I have sold a ton of cards I printed off of that looked great. I wholesaled them. They turned out great. I couldn't get the same result on my other new printers. The paper and the ink looked bad. So that was also another good reason to move on. Both I couldn't buy it and it didn't look good on my new printers. So that old video, I'll probably leave up. I'm not sure. I'm going to put a link to this one in it so I can provide more up-to-date information. Because like I said, I got a really good result with that paper and that printer. But I have other things I do now that are probably easier to combine for everyone else. Next point, the suppliers I chose and where I got everything from was mainly based around accessibility and price consciousness, because with keeping the price low for my materials, that's where my margin is for making a profit as an art print card seller. So that was kind of why I made my decisions about where I'm buying things. It's generally accessibility and price based. Obviously quality too, but these are all things that I think are really good quality. Hi, Blueberry. My rabbit. She kind of comes out when I'm talking. Okay, focusing. Final point before I get in. Bulk buying saves money. I do it where I can. So some of the stuff I bought in a very large quantity and like materials wise. I couldn't do that earlier in my business, so I understand not everyone can. I think I'm going to link some things that are in smaller quantities, but I'll tell you where I get everything. So if you're starting off and you want to buy small amounts, it may just cost you more. Eventually, if you decide you like the materials, buy a lot if you can afford it, because that's going to make it cheaper and make your margins better. Okay, let's go. Chapter 1, printers. Here are the 3 printers that I have and use regularly, and they each have pros and cons. I have my most expensive printer is the Epson EcoTank 8550. That's this guy right here, covered in stuff, because all my printers are also piles of stuff holders. This is an Epson EcoTank, so it uses they're all right here. It uses these little bottles to fill up the ink, which is really cost effective. It is only, I think, the yellow. Yeah, the yellow is the only one I use the most of. I think it's just kind of the stuff I paint. But I printed hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of prints already, and this is like not even half done of the ink. So it's very cost effective. The printer was expensive. It was over $1,000 Canadian. And it prints wide format, so I think it can do up to 13 by 19 inch prints. I do 14 by 11 or 11 by 14 is my biggest. So this can do big prints and they are beautiful. Really high quality, no complaints. I've done cards on this as well. Everything looks great on this. I love this printer. I don't use it for smaller jobs like printing documents or whatever. I use my other printers for that just because when you have a lot of printers like I do, you need to use them all regularly so that the nozzles do not dry out inside. So I try and use them each at least once a week just to keep them healthy, just so you know. So this is my big printer. I would recommend this if you are doing fine art prints at home. It can handle lots of thicknesses of mediums. The color looks great. It uses a combination of dye and pigment ink, so it can do quite a wide range of colors. I picked this one both for the combination of long-term cost effectiveness, costs more upfront, but the ink will be savings in long-term. But also, I just read the reviews and I really liked it. So very happy with all the choices I've made for these printers. Just had to replace the battery in my camera. Apologies for the slight change. I also just talked for 20 minutes and have to redo it. Okay, where was I? This printer I bought at Best Buy. If you are going to get it there, make sure you are aware of the Epson 8550 versus the 8500. It's about a $300 difference. This one is the one with the extra 5 and it is the wide format one. That is what makes it worthwhile in my opinion. All right, my next printer, which is the one that I recommend to everyone who's getting started or like if you're on a budget, this is a great printer. It is the Canon G3270. I bought this printer at Staples not that long ago, maybe last year, for $200 on sale. And it is a phenomenal printer. The reasons that I like it are it can handle thick medium. It doesn't argue about what paper you're feeding it. It kind of does. That's one of the downsides I'll tell you in a second, but it will still print on anything. I print all my greeting cards on this one. I find it very easy and straightforward to use. I just use the print dialog on the computer. I don't use any fancy software with it. It comes with a lot of settings for paper. I typically, when I'm doing my greeting cards, pick high resolution paper for it and then best quality. For some reason, that just makes it extra crispy and nice. I love this printer. I use stickers in it. It looks great on glossy or matte stickers. No complaints there. And it's so affordable. The only downside to this printer is that I think it's really bad at sensing papers. So often I will click high resolution paper and then send it to print and then I have to go over and it says on the thing like, notice like we detected the wrong kind of paper, like you have to hit OK and I have to hit OK twice and then it will print. It doesn't care what it prints on. It just wants to tell you first that it doesn't think it's the right thing. It does that no matter what paper I'm using and what settings I'm using. It's always detecting the wrong paper. So not a problem in terms of what it produces. Annoying in that I have to go hit a button twice. Very small complaint, truly the only thing I have to complain with this printer. So if I was getting started again, I would go for just that one because it's so affordable. It works really well. But I still like having the big one because I do all my art prints on the big one and I just think they look just a little bit more, plus it has the bigger size range. The ink is also very affordable. I just prioritized with this spending more money up front to get a printer that I think would long-term be more cost efficient. So that's that. The Canon one is also an ink tank one, so you can put your own ink in it, or you can refill it easily is what I mean. I don't know what your own ink means. Don't make your own ink and put it in there. My other printer, my older one, is a Epson EcoTank 2400. I bought it maybe 3-4 years ago. It has been really great. I really loved it. It worked great on that Kromekote paper, like I said, but it doesn't have as good a print quality as the other ones, or especially not the big one. I don't even know that you can buy it anymore. I think it might have phased out, so don't worry about that too much. The main reason I wanted to move on to other printers was because this one is just starting to get old. Even after cleaning the print heads and making sure it's well serviced, it was still leaving some spots of ink on my art. So I was not happy and having to reprint things a lot. So those are my printer things. Little asterisk before I move into other sections of this video is for the printing settings on the computer. For my Epson, my big one, I use the software that came with it called Epson Print Layout. It is kind of clunky software, but it's pretty easy to navigate. You pull your design into it, then you can make it the size you want on the sheet of paper and arrange it on the paper. And then you can choose all the settings. And I actually have all my settings here because I use ICC profiles to get the color right on my art prints. I don't bother for the greeting cards because they seem to print really well on their own. But when I'm doing the prints, I want them to be perfect. I have this tiny little cat sticky note. I think it's a lop-eared, is that right? A fold, I think it's a fold cat. Anyways, the settings I use in the Epson print layout software is plain paper, best quality. And then the ICC profile I use is Epson sRGB. I use relative colorimetric, and I do turn on black point compensation. Those are the settings that will mean nothing to you unless you're playing with that software and know about print colors. Just want to tell you in case you're curious. Don't sweat it if you don't know what that's all about. All of that is just about choosing how your printer and computer communicate about what kind of ink colors to use for the design, and you can play around with it to get different results. I even was able to get a pretty nice print quality on my old printer after years of having it just by using different ICC profiles. I'm not going to talk more about that in this video because it's such a big topic and I'm certainly not an expert. You can look up other videos maybe if you want to know more about color profiles for your printer. That's that. So, and when I print on my Canon, I just use the print window on my computer. Like I said, I pick the high resolution paper setting from the drop down of media types that come with the Canon. Stay sad. Okay, chapter 2, papers. This is the paper that I use for all the stuff. I have 5 different papers here. My number 1 paper is now the Hammermill Premium Color Copy, 100 pounds, 8.5 by 11. I buy it off of Amazon because I have really tried, but I can't source it locally and I can't find a Canadian supplier. So that's where it comes from. This is the paper I use for my greeting cards and my smaller art prints and also miscellaneous projects because I really like it. The key reason that this paper works so well is it's nice and thick, so it kind of feels important and premium, but it also has an extremely smooth surface. And that has been the key that I've found in getting my art prints to look the best when I print them at home. I have used cardstock from lots of different places. I've used different papers from Michaels. I've used different fine art papers. I kind of think it's fun to try a bunch of different papers in your printer, but everything I found that is, if I want the crispest, true to the painting version, I need a really, really smooth paper. That's what this is. So that's what I recommend for art prints and greeting cards. If you need a bigger size, I do believe they also just make it in a bigger size, like a, 11 by 17. But for some reason they weren't shipping that one to me. So I got the 11 by 17 size paper, a different brand. It's Accent Opaque Smooth Cover White. I've used both 80 and 100 pounds. Both are great for this purpose for my large art prints. So this brand Accent, they sell through Amazon. That's where I get it as well. This Accent brand paper, I really like it. It feels very, very similar. I wouldn't notice a difference to the Hammermill. It's a little bit cheaper as well. But anyways, those are just the ones I'm using for art prints and cards. If you are making cards, some of your concern may be when you fold the card, does the paper splinter on the fold? Hi, little bunny. Hi, sweetheart. Does the paper splinter when you fold it? I have had very minimal splintering with this paper. I'm very happy with it. The only times I've ever gotten any tiny amount of it, I've been able to just use my bone folder, which is a bookmaking tool I use for making creases, to just smooth that spine down, and it's looked perfect again. So happy with it. Both my digital art and my watercolor greeting card designs look great on it. No complaints. Very happy. It was hard going from the glossy to the matte finish for the cards. And it's like a glossier matte, if you know what I mean. Like you hold it up to the light and it's got not a shimmer, but like it like kind of reflects the light a little bit. It's not like a nasty feeling matte. It's very smooth and lovely. But it was kind of hard because I felt really nice with the glossy, but the print quality is so crisp and good and the cost is so good with this paper that I'm converted and I'm very happy now. So that is what I'm using for those products. In terms of other paper, this is what I recommended in my notepad videos. I use the Xerox Bold Digital 28-pound paper. This is a higher quality paper than just like a printer paper, like what this is on. It's just a little bit thicker because it's 28 pounds, which is standard printer, I think is 19 or 20. I like this for making notepads, but also any purpose where I need just like a slightly higher quality paper for documents or something. So I use it for making like little signs on my booth, and just a little bit better quality, just another paper I really like. If you're looking for a heavyweight regular paper. Sticker papers, I like two kinds from HTV Ront. I've used a few different sticker papers. These ones I like for many reasons. I've used both, so the brand HTV Ront Printable Vinyl for Inkjet Paper is what it's called. Again, I'll link it all. I've used the glossy white and the matte white. The matte white is more like a paper texture. It's very smooth and lovely, and I think it prints really well. I have used it mainly for making sticker sheets, and I've also used, like, those are mainly for like journaling and paper use. So the matte one is not, I would not put it underwater, for example, just because it doesn't feel like it you should. The glossy one I have printed individual stickers with, and they have performed really well. I have tested out running them underwater and then letting them dry. They were still sticky on the back for the ones I hadn't stuck. I also put them on my water bottle and hand washed it, and they did not move. None of the colors ran. It was really locked in. I do not laminate my stickers at this time. I have in the past, and then I put them through the dishwasher and they were fine, but I'm just not looking to laminate stickers right now. So I don't have a recommendation for a laminate. I do cut all my stickers in my Cricut. I have a Cricut Explore Air 2, the very common one. Works fine. For the stickers that are more like a sticker sheet, on the matte paper, I use the Post-it note pressure setting. For the other one, for Kiss Cut stickers, I don't remember the setting I use, but I have to go over it like 3 times to get it cut sometimes. But it does do a good job. So there you go. That's stickers. But it's not my number one thing in my business, so I just kind of have a simple sticker setup. The other thing is the HTV Ront paper does not have any branding on the back, so you don't have like information for someone else's business on your products. So that's it for paper. If you have any questions, let me know. I will do my best to answer them. The last category is packaging. So I did a big order from a company called Majic Paper and Packaging, which is in Ontario in Canada here. I paid pretty much the same amount to ship it to me as I did of the items themselves. It was like it was like $200 to ship it. It was insane, but I needed these things, and even ordering in small quantities from places that would ship to me for free, like Amazon, the cost was going to be more than paying for the shipping. I digress. I really liked the quality of everything I got. I just had to buy in big volume. So the things I got from this company were chipboard for my back of my art, the art prints. So that like really thick cardboard that goes in the back. I got 2 sizes from them. I got envelopes for my cards, A2 envelopes. I got round sticker paper for labels, like the little circle with my logo on my art prints. And I got padding compound glue, which is the ideal glue for making notepads. I haven't tried out that glue yet, so I can't review it. But the chipboard, I got 2 sizes. I got 8.5 by 11 and 11 by 17. So I do have to use my paper cutter to cut them down individually for my prints, but that's okay. That was going to happen anyways. I was originally going to get chipboard off of Amazon, which you can buy, and I will link that one as well as the Majic one in case you don't want to order from Canada. But I did have to buy big quantities. They work really great though, and the quality's nice. You could also use that chipboard for backing notepads if you were so inclined. The envelopes, they look really nice. I bought like thousands of them, so I will never run out. I'm still just using up envelopes that I bought off of Amazon before, which were great and pretty much identical, so I will link both. And the round sticker paper, I think I got like 100 sheets of these sticker paper things for like $20, which is pretty crazy because I know you can get like 10 of them for that amount off of other stores. But it came with no instructions, so I had to make my own template and everything, which was fine. Again, all of these I will link. The actual one I bought, and then something that I think is very similar, I just bought in bulk in Canada. For other packaging, plastic sleeves for my greeting cards, I buy those off Amazon. It's just the best option I found so far that is cost effective. I think I get like 200 for $10, so they're very cost effective. It'd be nice to not have to package things in plastic, but the reality of shipping and handling paper goods is that they get damaged really fast if you don't. Plastic sleeves for my art prints, I actually buy locally now. I buy them from Dessert's Art Store, which is a Canadian chain. I was shocked that they had them. They sell the 2 sizes I need in 25 packs. So it's not the most cost effective, but it's very convenient, and I prefer it. But I used to buy them off of Amazon, so I'll put the link for the ones I used to use before. Same quality, just easier for me to find. For the art inserts, which is like the sheets I put inside, this one's sideways again, sorry. That's just regular printer paper, nothing special about that. And for shipping, I just use cardboard rigid mailers. I got a big pack of them and I just use those for most orders. If it's like just stickers or something, I'll just mail it in a regular envelope. For any bigger prints, I will either use a tube if I have one. I don't sell a ton of the bigger prints. It's mostly like more mail-sized ones. I'll use a tube or make a tube out of foam core and just get 3 pieces and make a triangle tube. You just use tape to build that because it's really secure and tubes are really weirdly expensive. And shipping those things is expensive. So it's not, like I said, not my top seller. That's it for packaging, I think. So I think that's pretty much everything that I needed to tell you in this video. That was all my printers, all my papers, and all my packaging. I don't think there's anything else I use. I guess like my art supplies, but that's probably not the main thing you're looking for. So yeah, like I said, I will provide links for everything I mentioned. If it's not the exact one that I have just due to me buying it locally or something, it will be the next best thing that I was able to find. So I'll try and denote that. If you have any questions, I will do my best to answer. But also look at the other questions if there's anything that's already been asked and answered. Oftentimes I'll forget something important and then everyone will ask the exact same question, so I'll try and just answer it once and pin it. Or if there's like a big update, I'll put it in the comments. I hope you found that helpful. I'm still really enjoying running my art business. I feel like I have a lot of room to grow, and I feel like it gives me a good excuse to do the thing I love most, which is sitting and painting. So with that being said, I hope you have learned something really useful. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've been planning to make this for a very long time, but first I had to acquire all these materials, then I had to try them, and now I have to give you my accurate review. So that's literally everything that makes up my business in terms of materials. So if you order from me, you can see these things live with my art on them. I've got to make a plan for the kind of videos I want to make going forward. I'm not totally sure. Did I also shrink in this video? I feel like my chair went down because like I'm looking at the viewfinder, like there's a lot of space up here. Maybe I did shrink. Sorry for my mess also. My whole studio is kind of a mess because I did a bunch of in-person shows and that's chaos, and then I came home and was very tired. Then I just didn't want to clean it up. So I've been chipping away at it, but this is also Blueberry's room, so she's over there just glaring at me. So I better go give her some attention. Okay, let's wrap this up. Yes, what did I say? Questions? Leave them for me. Happy to answer. If you want more tutorial stuff, you can check out like my Skillshare and my YouTube membership. That's where my more teachy stuff will be going forward. If you're interested in hanging out with me in general, please stay tuned on my channel and subscribe if you haven't, because I'm going to be making more things about my art, my process, and my philosophy, and I have a lot to say, and I have a lot I want to do. I'm also on Instagram a lot. I post stories like every day, just of whatever I'm painting or my rabbit or whatever I'm doing. So if you're curious, I'd love to see you there. I think that's it. Thanks for bearing with me through this long video and a couple of technical mishaps. All right, love you lots. Thank you for being here. Have a great day. See ya.